Hello everybody, welcome to Toddler Talk and welcome back if you've been with us before. I spoke to you the last day about how to manage those very challenging toddler tantrums, and we spoke about 10 top tips that are really helpful at this developmental stage. The reason for toddler tantrums is typically related to the fact that at this time in your child's life, their needs and wants are very clear to them. They've become really good at discriminating what they want and when they want it. The only problem is that at this stage, they may not have all the words to express what it is they want, and they certainly do not have the patience to wait for it. And so what can happen for us is that we can be in a very busy situation and we need things to happen and we need to be going places. And that might be the very moment when they've decided that's not what they want to do and they want to do something else. So what we need to do, as I said before, is identify the rumbling stage and know what to do in the rumbling stage before code red happens. The best thing to remember at this point is that your child's ability to take in any verbal input when the rumbling stage starts is extremely limited. So us adding any more words to the situation or any more verbal directions is very likely going to escalate the situation. So what we need to do is we need to zip it up and we need to think about only instructing them in any way at all with one word or two at the most. Ideally, what we would do is we would find ways to communicate non-verbally. So a helpful thing to do is to think about, right, do I need them to go somewhere? I do. If they're attending to me, so if they can see me, I may just point to where it is that I need them to go with the kindest demeanor I can find at that moment. Obviously, you're going to be a little bit cross, so we need to be careful that we don't add our ire to the situation and get stuck in that dynamic with them. So anything non-verbal is key here. And a gentle, very gentle physical prompt. So we may need to orientate them slightly to where it is that we need them to go, because at this moment, getting them to go somewhere else is always one of the best tricks to bear in mind. If this is something that happens regularly, I would always say being prepared is the best thing. So having a photograph or having a visual image of locations that you commonly need to go to with your toddler is very helpful. And if you can download an image of these locations and perhaps draw an arrow on the image and laminate that, have that in your treasure chest or in your toolbox. And so when you see the first rumbling stage, the first sign, the pout, the no, that they're getting into that cross place, it is usually helpful then, as I said, to not use any words or just use one and take out your visual of the picture of where it is you want them to go next. So showing them that with the arrow. If you really want them to follow you, a really good rule of thumb is that you extend your hand out open in an invitation as opposed to closed, because an open-handed invitation is a much less threatening non-verbal cue for a toddler. And so if they're on the ground and they're looking at you even from the corner of their eye, an outstretched hand invitation is always the best non-verbal prompt. Point is another one, or a very gentle reorientation of them in the direction of where it is you need to go alongside a visual picture, if that is what you have at the time that reflects what needs to happen next. This typically will help your toddler and you to get out of that stuck cross place, and it should prevent code red. We will discuss code red, but I really just want to get a handle on all the preventative stuff before we get to that place. Thanks for joining us today, and hopefully we'll see you the next time for top tip number 3.